To remember who you are, you have to forget who they told you to be. This is a quote. I don't know who wrote it, who said it, but I love it. And I think especially as a freedom writer, as somebody who wants to get paid for their words and create products and services and books, content that is meaningful for other people, and get paid for the ideas, this is really, really important to remember this, because even for me, there are ways that I do things that aren't necessarily the way that you should do things. There are ways that other people do things that aren't necessarily the way that you need to do them. And there are certain things that I do that you'll align with, and likewise with other people. But the more we tune into who we are, the more congruent with that we can be. It's kind of like, for me, I love to write, so I was like, well, how do I get to write every day? And I realized that writing to my audience every day, was a really easy and fun way for me to do that while also growing the business. Now, a lot of people would say, hey, you shouldn't email your list every day. You should not do that. You're going to get unsubscribes and all this stuff. And I get unsubscribes for sure. But it's also fulfilling. And there's people mowing the lawn around me right now. I'm going to pause this for a second. All right, I'm back. There are things that you're going to see other people do, like I said, but they're not necessarily congruent with who you are. And the important thing to remember is that the more you lean into who you are and how you operate, and the more you put that inside of your freedom writing business, then I think the easier and the better things are going to flow. Just because somebody says it has to be this way doesn't mean that's what it has to be. Like, if you love writing, but you also love being on video, then do that. If you don't want to take any one-on-one calls, then there are so many ways to do that and have your products delivered, your books delivered, your ideas delivered without being on one-on-one calls. If you like doing that sometimes, then you can have that as part of your model too. Anyway, I say all this to say that everybody likes to tell you that there's only one way of doing things, and there's really an infinite number of ways of doing things. And you take what aligns from mentors, content you consume, all that kind of stuff, but you also have to listen to yourself. This is why creating first is so important. This is why tuning into that voice is so important. And yeah, it's just what I want to share today. If you're not on the wait list for the 2-Hour Business, which is where I help people become freedom writers with 2-hour businesses in a way that is useful and natural and congruent for you, then you can get on the wait list. The link is below. And if you haven't read my book, Create First, Consume Second, you can also click below and read that. See you soon.